Fabio trying to turn it round the corner, looking and finding Clayton, and then in by Ledbetter into the penalty area, but it's aimless and easily plucked out of the sky by Mignolet. He's urged by the Liverpool supporters to get things moving very quickly. Arsenal 2, Everton 0, Burnley 1, West Ham 1, Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1, Hull 0, Tottenham 2, Leicester 0, Bournemouth 1, Manchester City 2, Crystal Palace 0, Southampton 0, Stoke 0, Swansea 0, West Brom 1, Watford 0, Manchester City 4. Here's the scoreline. Elsewhere in the Premier League, here it's Liverpool 0, Middlesbrough 0. Milner with a challenge, quite a late one as well, over on that far side on Patrick Bamford. Bamford has certainly made the most of it. Martin Atkinson has made the decision and given the free kick in the Middlesbrough man's favour. You're pretty sure, aren't you, that Liverpool are going to do this some way, somehow?
I think they'll get a goal. All it will take is either Bamford or Downing to switch off and not track one of the full-backs back, and that will create a space. They will get a better opportunity in the game, Liverpool. That will happen. Do they take it when it comes? But I must say, Borough have had a couple of skirmishes, haven't they? And
there's been a few scares for the Liverpool back line.
Exactly, and concentration is absolutely key for them.
I wonder if Jurgen Klopp shares your confidence. Here's Daniel Sturridge taking the ball out of the sky. George Friend did very well to stick with him, and it's cleared away by Middlesbrough. They're harassing Liverpool down the right touchline, and Klein gives away the ball. It goes out and away for a throw-in to Borough deep inside their own territory. It's 0-0. They haven't had a great season, Middlesbrough, that is for sure. Their goal tally of 27 shows that they're very rarely a threat in the opposition's penalty area. But they've only conceded 50 goals all campaign. And a team that concedes only 50 goals is a team like West Brom in 9th, or started the day in 9th, or Southampton in 8th position as they were at the start of proceedings. Not a team that are getting relegated. A ball up towards the edge of the penalty area, looking for Firmino. It's headed away by Callum Chambers. Help towards halfway, where Matip just stands in front of Jused, shrugs him off and moves out with the ball. He moves so elegantly, Joel Matip, long, lean, and like a Rolls Royce, purring with the ball at his feet and shrugging off all comers. Here's Matip finding Klein. Klein to Wijnaldum, takes it in his stride really well inside the penalty area, inside the near post as well, and firing Liverpool into the lead in injury time at the end of the first half, and quite possibly he's fired them into the Champions League next season, in front of the Kop, embraced by his teammates. Gigi Wijnaldum bursting down the right side of the penalty area and almost bursting the net. Liverpool 1, Middlesbrough 0.
Yeah, as I said, it just takes someone to switch off, and they get a nice little help round the corner then, and he's unloaded a great shot, I've got to say, into the near post. I think the goalkeeper's expecting to be across his body. He hasn't done that. He's unloaded straight into the near post, and it's past him before he even could react, to be honest.
Liverpool 1, Middlesbrough 0 on TalkSport with Sky. And don't forget, you can watch that goal on the Sky Sports Football Score Centre app now. Available at no extra cost for Sky TV customers with Sky Sports. Anfield explodes. Jurgen Klopp, his fists clenched, his head towards his knees. He runs his fingers through his hair and he grimaces in delight that Liverpool have taken the lead just before half-time. It's Liverpool 1, Middlesbrough 0. Graham Beecroft is on the touchline. What was the reaction like, Graham?
Absolutely delighted, as you might imagine. Jurgen Klopp is not one who is undemonstrative when a goal goes in for his side, and that time he was absolutely punching the air, absolutely delighted. I just wondered before then whether he was thinking about yesterday, because Borussia Dortmund qualified in position in the German league, and Augsburg at home against one, and the other team, Hoffenheim, who were vying for that fourth spot as well. They were at home to Augsburg, down at the bottom of the table. That finished 0-0, and Dortmund went through on that basis. But just at that moment, Georgie Wijnaldum scored the goal.
Yep, Liverpool have only been in the Champions League once since 2009, but at the moment it seems they are returning to the top table of European football again. It was nervy in the first half, Adrian, but finally Liverpool got the goal. It's Liverpool 1, Middlesbrough 0.
As it stands, it'll be Liverpool and Man City who take the 3rd and 4th places in those Champions League spots. Let's get straight to the Emirates. Arsenal 2 up, closing stages of the first half. Ian Danter.
Well, the whistle's just gone, Adrian. It is half-time here. Arsenal 2, Everton 0. Quick-fire goals in the first, 27 minutes for Arsenal to put them clear. But in between that, a red card for Koscielny saw Arsenal down to 10 men. Bellerin, with his first of the season, put Arsenal ahead on 7 minutes after good work down the left-hand side, and Welbeck with an inexplicable miss, treading on the ball on 6 yards, but Bellerin followed up to score. But Koscielny was red-carded for a reckless challenge on Enner Valencia in the 14th minute, and then on 27, Sanchez with a goal. He tried to drive from 25 yards out that deflected off an Everton player. Welbeck picked it up, and Everton just hadn't picked up the run of Sanchez, who ghosted into the area to slot it home for 2-0. Everton, who've been shambolic for those 2 goals and have been really poor defensively, even for 5 or 10 minutes after that red card for Koscielny, started to wake up towards the end of the half. Barkley, left on the bench by Ronald Koeman this afternoon, brought on as a substitute. Quite effective as well, Barkley coming forward. Great chances for the likes of Lukaku and Gay and Valencia. Just couldn't convert the chances that came their way. Check with some good goalkeeping along the way. Arsenal doing all they can at the moment, but the atmosphere somewhat muted by news of that goal at Anfield. Half-time at the Emirates. Arsenal 2, Everton 0.
Right, let's get this business done. Man City, as it stands, will finish 3rd on 78. Liverpool, as it stands, 1-0 up, will finish 4th on 76. Arsenal winning, but they'll finish 5th on 75 as things stand right now at half-time in the Premier League. Spurs get a 3rd. The only shock is it's not Harry Kane, it's Dele Alli who scored. They lead 3-0 at Hull City. We'll round up all the half-times up and down the country very shortly. Let's hear about that first 45 at Vicarage Road first of all. It's been a landslide. It's been brilliant for Manchester City. Danny Gavardon and Nigel Pearson.
Yes, Watford 0, Manchester City 4 at half-time, and that scoreline very, very accurate about the way the game has gone so far. Watford quite simply have been outclassed. It's a Manchester City masterclass. Company as early as the 4th minute with a header from a De Bruyne corner. That was brilliant. Then Aguero went on the rampage. De Bruyne with a wonderful through ball on 23 minutes. Aguero did the rest, and then he got another on 36, a simple tap-in after Sané's running the ball in from the left-hand side, and Aguero did the rest. Fernandinho, 3 minutes before half-time, it was all too easy. He waltzed through the Watford defence, and that was the moment the boos started to come from the Hornets fans. They are not happy with their side here. They are being absolutely torn apart, and Manchester City heading for 3rd place in the Premier League. At the break at Vicarage Road, Watford 0, Manchester City 4.
Okay, so Manchester City 4-0 up at half-time, and they'll qualify for the Champions League with Liverpool as it stands. Arsenal leading, but they will finish 5th. That's the picture at the top of the table in the Champions League spots. Let's round up the rest. Here at Stamford Bridge, it's been John Terry's testimonial first half. Ian Abrahams.
Certainly has. Chelsea won, Sunderland's bought the party a bit going ahead inside the opening 3 minutes. The last free kick off the wall fell to Manquillo, was ridiculously unmarked inside the penalty area about 8 yards out, and he lashed the ball home. Didn't take Chelsea long to get level. They hit the crossbar with an Alonso free kick, then dominated for about 90 seconds inside the penalty area before Willian thought, oh, might be a good idea to shoot. He did, straight at Pickford, who maybe should have kept it out, although it just went under his arm. It was a very powerful shot. And then we had, on 26 minutes, the end of John Terry's Premier League career with Chelsea after 717 games, given a guard of honour by his own team after he'd hugged every single member of them. It took him about 3 minutes to get off. One clever wag on Twitter said they should all be booked for time wasting. After that, the mood went a bit flat, Adrian. Chelsea had a couple of chances, none better than Hazard inside the area, but he hit it high wide and not very handsome. And at the break, it's Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1.
Let's head to Old Trafford, where the home side's juniors are leading. Dom McGuinness.
Yes, it was Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 0. Many United fans would have feared a bit of a beating from an experienced and strong-looking Palace lineup. As it is, the kids, 8 academy products, 4 making their debuts today for Manchester United. Well, they've had that fearlessness of youth. They've played some great football at times as well. Harrop, well, encapsulating all that verve with an excellent solo goal after 15 minutes, cutting in from Pogba's brilliant ball. He picked it up on the left-hand side, jinked, lots of skill, lots of adventure, lots of confidence, and the finish absolutely sublime, turning inside. And then Pogba, who'd provided the assist for Harrop on his return after the death of his father, he got the second, Good work from Jesse Lingard feeding it through. There was a slip from Joel Ward. He tried to get a challenge, and Pogba was left one-on-one with the keeper, and he slotted it in, pointed to the sky. As it was after that, there were other chances. Harrop again showing all about confidence with one that was just wide at the scoreboard end again. As it was, Palace have been very, very poor. Their season obviously well and truly over, but at half-time, interesting, 2 substitutions made prior to the half-time whistle. Pogba, who walked off very slowly, don't think he's injured, purely resting, I'm sure. Carrick replacing him, and Martial replacing Lingard, again prior to the half-time whistle, very much with Stockholm and Ajax in mind in the week. But half-time, the kids of Manchester United are doing all right. It's United 2, Palace 0.
Well, let's head to St Mary's. I'm not sure if the manager's called Claude Puel or Board Puel. What's the half-time situation? I wonder. Alex Crook.
Well, I'm bored. Southampton 0, Stoke 0. All the excitement came in the first and last minute of the half. What happened in between was pretty dire. Mama Biram Diouf forced a smart save from Saints keeper Fraser Forster with a volley after only 20 seconds. Then in stoppage time, Cedric cleared a Diouf header off the line before Nathan Redmond dispossessed the Stoke goalkeeper Jack Butland way outside his penalty area and planted a cheeky chip against the top of the crossbar. Southampton 0, Stoke 0.
I think West Brom are winning the battle for 8th place, aren't they, at the Liberty? Lawrence Moore.
They certainly are. Swansea 0, West Brom 1. All pretty poor end of season stuff so far, though. It took 33 minutes to get the opening goal, and it's the only effort on target. Corner from the left, misjudged by the Swans goalkeeper Nordveld. And Johnny Evans rose highest at the back post, headed the ball into the empty net. In the reverse fixture, Rondon scored a hat-trick of headers. So the Baggies certainly targeting that in this first half. It all got a bit heated after that. Olsen and Nyam having a wrestling match as they tried to decide whose throw-in it was, and the Baggies definitely winning the physical battle for sure. At the break, Swansea 0, West Brom 1.
What's going on at the King Power? Jeff Peters.
It's Leicester 0, Bournemouth 1. The visitors off to a flyer with a goal inside 60 seconds. Moussa made a mug of Simpson and Fuchs. His shot was blocked into the path of Junior Stanislas, who converted his 3rd in 3 games and 7th of the season, and the club's 100th in the Premier League. Dan Gosling was denied a second by Schmeichel's top-class one-handed tip over. Leicester were pretty awful for the most part, but Mahrez, Benouan and Slimani all had chances late in the half. Leicester 0, Bournemouth 1.
Ran out the first half at Turf Moor. Simon Humphries.
It's Burnley 1, West Ham 1. An entertaining first 45 that was livened up on 23 minutes when Andre Gray crossed to the right hand side. It just missed Scott Arfield, but Sandbergs was lurking to slot home his 10th league goal of the season. 4 minutes later, the Hammers were level. A quick free kick from Fernandez, a lovely flick from Andre Ayew, and there was Sofiane Feghouli recalled to the side to slot the ball past goalkeeper Tom Heaton. Ashley Westwood was then booked a minute later for a foul on Ayew, and 2 minutes after that was lucky to stay on the pitch. A foul on James Collins. The referee had a stern words with him. That challenge enough, with a sharp challenge on his leg, was enough to have been red. The referee there was pretty lenient, Bobby Madley, and Burnley play on with 11 players. Half time, it's Burnley 1, West Ham 1.
Juventus have just sealed the title in Italy again. 18 first half goals in these 10 Premier League games, 3 of them at the KCOM. Graham Courtney.
Yeah, Hull 0, Spurs 3 here at half time. Harry Kane after 10 minutes, and then again after 12 minutes. That takes him on to 28 Premier League goals for the season, 34 overall for the season. And then just on the stroke of half time, Dele Alli, he's picked up a ball from Harry Kane, the creator, and he's fired it in from the edge of the box. He's only struggling on 22 goals for this season. Hull 0, Spurs 3.
As it stands then at the top, Chelsea champions, Tottenham second. We knew that already, but the Champions League spots had to be decided. As it stands, Man City will finish 3rd, Liverpool will finish 4th, Arsenal will finish 5th. But you know what? A
Can you hear me now?
A goal for Middlesbrough changes everything. Live second half commentary to come from Anfield here on TalkSport.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast on Talk Sport with the Ford Ranger. It's the breakfast show that doesn't compromise on delivering the biggest names from the world of sport.
That's the Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast every weekday morning from 6 a.m.
The Alan Brazil Sports Breakfast. Weekday mornings from 6 on Talk Sport with Ford. City streets, motorways, country roads, wherever work takes you, our Transit Ranger vehicles will take you in comfort.
I really don't know why.
The Europa League final live next Wednesday night from 7 on Talk
What's that?
Sport. Manchester United have the Champions League in their grasp as they face Ajax in Stockholm.
Rashford, decent ball to the far side for Laney. Manchester United a big goal.
Full uninterrupted commentary from kickoff at 7:45. The Europa League final live next Wednesday night from 7 on DAB Digital Radio, online on 1089 and 1053 AM. Talk Sport.
Can I not increase this anymore?
My sporting life, defining moments from Talk Sport.
Michael Hogan.
Of
You what,
course,
darling?
I knew a lot of West Indians who lived in
I haven't
England,
got no
and I
coffees
knew
on it.
that
Very strange,
they felt
very
good when we
strange,
won.
Mike.
It
It's
made
very
them feel
weird.
very
I don't know
proud,
why it's messing
and it
around.
made them feel that they could
Yes.
identify with success.
Look,
So I
that
knew about
Lisa.
that effect, but I didn't know about the wider
It
aspect
is.
of it
Look,
all.
there is Lisa.
And the film Fire in
It
Babylon that you referred to. When that
That
film
is
was
Daddy,
being made,
yeah.
yes,
Let's
by
see
that
what the-
time,
let's see what all the
I
nice
got to
people are saying
understand
about
exactly
you.
what the West Indies team meant to people here in England. And not
Huh?
just people here in England, any West Indian anywhere in the world. The only thing we do in the Caribbean together, Dan, is play cricket. Every other
what I might
sport
do, actually?
is done by that island's
Probably put
team
some
or that
headphones in
country's
instead,
team.
Legends of sport recall their major achievements with Danny Kelly. My Sporting Life on Talk Sport.
Have you been involved in an accident that was entirely your fault? Perhaps you've stumbled over a cat or reversed straight into your wife's new car.
Hello, I want that one.
Why not quell the agony of self-loathing by
Hello, I
downloading
want
the
that.
best TalkSport app ever? Hear all your favourite TalkSport shows live or listen again from anywhere, including lawyers' waiting rooms, small claims courts and hospital A&E departments. Download the new, improved, accident-averse, spill-proof TalkSport phone app, free from your App Store now. It's like a fourth emergency service for Giffords.
Virgin Radio is
Hey,
back
Kevin
with
Green, how you doing,
classic
dude? Welcome
tracks
to the
and
stream,
new
buddy.
music.
My little girl's
Start your weekday from 6 a.m. with me, Edith Bowman, at breakfast.
I'm Jamie East, here to get you through your busy morning with interesting guests, entertaining stories. We've always got room for something unexpected.
Hi, I'm Kate Lawler here every lunchtime.
Look, you've
Make
got
sure you
paper
save
up
room for
there,
me at your lunch table.
Hello, I'm Matt Richardson on Virgin Radio to get you home with a smile on your face.
I'm Tim Cocker, here in the evenings when work ends and life begins.
Find Virgin Radio at virginradio.co.uk. Get
all my
the
lead.
app for your smartphone or retune your DAB radio. Check getdigitalradio.com.
But do Liverpool
Oh, well.
sit on it, or do they try and get a second to make sure?
How's everyone doing
I
anyway,
think they'll
guys?
have so much possession of the ball that they'll naturally come forward and carry on pressing for the second.
Well, Man City are taking care of business, 4-0 up against a woeful Watford side. I've been watching that. I have never seen a Premier League side perform so desperately badly in the first half of a game that actually meant something incredible.
Can you hear me
10
all right
man
now,
Arsenal
guys,
leading
or am I
against
still
Everton.
really
That's live
quiet?
on TalkSport 2 right now.
Obviously
But
I
that's
can't
irrelevant if Liverpool keep a clean sheet in this second half. As it stands, it's Man City and Liverpool going into the Champions League. It'll be Arsenal who miss out. No doubt we'll be talking about that on that phone-in. They will make the Champions League, Liverpool, if they hold on to this. Let's take you back to Anfield on TalkSport with your commentary team, Stuart Pearce and Sam Matterface.
Well, only once, Adrian, in the last 15 years has the fourth place team relinquished their position on the final day of the season, and Liverpool aren't giving theirs up without a fight.
No.
Jorginho Wijnaldum's goal on the stroke of half-time has given Liverpool the edge in the fixture and in the race to finish in the Champions League places. It is his 17th goal in Premier League football. Would you believe this, Stuart? Every single one of those goals has come at home for either Newcastle or for Liverpool. It's a record.
Well, it's fair to say don't get it forward a great deal on the road.
Two teams are out for the start of the second half. Doesn't look like there's any changes at the start of it. Jurgen Klopp just moving around rather laconically inside the technical area down below us here with the second half. Doesn't look like there's any changes at the start of it. Jurgen Klopp just moving around, getting ready to start proceedings in the second half. Red shirts, red shorts and socks for Liverpool, shooting from right to left towards the Anfield Road end in this second half. Middlesbrough get us started, shooting from left to right in dark blue shirts and shorts and turquoise socks. I'll run through the two 11s for you. Mignolet, the goalkeeper for Liverpool, Klein, Matip, Lovren and Milner, the back four. A midfield diamond, Chan at the base of it, Wijnaldum, Coutinho and Lallana with Sturridge and Firmino up top. Middlesbrough coming forward down the right hand side with Clayton getting the ball into the area. Forshaw keeps it alive, and then Ledbetter sends it wide towards the right hand side. It's in towards Jused, who goes with his feet and his head and everything else in between, and almost took the head off the Liverpool defender. There was Emre Can getting back there, and he got absolutely clattered by Rudy Gestede.
He almost threw everything at the ball, and in between the ball come the defender's head. I mean, it was quite an incredible. Yeah, I mean, he ended up hitting him with his elbow. He had his head there, his foot there, and he's managed to catch him with his elbow.
It was almost like a contortionist act, wasn't it? He went with his right foot, missed it with his right foot.
That page only, please.
It hit him in the face, the ball, and his elbow struck Chan, who was wrapped around the whole midriff. It was like poor old Emre Can had been chucked into a Rudy Gestede washing machine.
Yeah, I wonder why that's done that.
Anyway, Emre Can is back up and moving once again and moving out towards this near touchline, and after a brief moment in which the game has been paused, Martin Atkinson will get us underway again. Middlesbrough haven't won away from home since August, so there was never really too many nerves around here. Well, not that many anyway, but it was the goal from elsewhere and the fact that Liverpool hadn't made the breakthrough, which at that time was threatening just to have a few in the cop away to our right, biting those nails. But that goal from Gigi Wijnaldum has certainly settled any nerves that were starting to surface.
I think
it is 1-0 to Liverpool.
Sorry, Sam. The longer the game goes on as well, if it stays 1-0, there will be a nervous moment for Liverpool in this game, because the other two games look as though they're reasonably safe for Arsenal and Manchester City at present.
Liverpool lead by 1-0, Arsenal lead by 2-0, Manchester City 4-0 away from home in the match against Watford. The only member of the top six at the moment who isn't winning is the champions Chelsea. They're drawing with Sunderland. Yeah, that's really happening. Here's Wijnaldum out to the right-hand side into Lallana back to Klein, and then Klein across to Joel Matip, and Liverpool just content to knock the ball around away to our right-hand side. The blue sky, which started the day in most areas of the country, is now peppered with lots of fluffy grey clouds above our head here. The sun has certainly gone behind one of them at Anfield, and the wind has got up a couple of times at the top of this rather tall and vacuous stand at the back of the main stand here, as Wijnaldum tries to jink his way through into the Middlesbrough penalty area. Lallana tried to nick it, the ball was nudged away by Ledbetter, and then into midfield where Middlesbrough have to try and regather momentum once again, because Liverpool have got the ball and they're running at Fabio down this left-hand side, and Firmino teasing his fellow Brazilian sends the ball against him and out on this near touchline for a throw. Firmino again onto Coutinho back to the halfway line, and Lovren across to Matip, and now some space for Wijnaldum, the goal scorer, bursting down the right hand side, taking on Forshaw. Infield he goes to Sturridge drags his foot and studs over the ball, works it wide into the wing position, back to Sturridge once again. He moves towards the edge of the penalty area with the ball under control, skips past one challenge. That challenge was from Clayton basically just used his arm to push Sturridge off the ball. Free kick, Liverpool in Coutinho range.
I think both players have hurt themselves there. Sturridge took obviously a clattering on the ankle, and Clayton is still down at this moment in time.
Well, he tried to move away, didn't he? I think, did he just fall awkwardly there, Clayton?
Yeah, United.
Was it his knee? Banged his knee on the ground, I think, as he went down. He's holding that now and hobbling back into a Middlesbrough defensive line. Basically, they've got a wall. Every single one of their outfield players is on the edge of the penalty area. I mean, that might be the only way to stop Coutinho from this sort of distance.
Can you hear me all right, guys? Am I all right?
Martin Atkinson lining up.
Can you hear, little girl?
The 10-man wall, as it is at the moment for Middlesbrough. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
He's run out of spray, hasn't he? You know?
Martin Atkinson has to come to the near touchline to get a new can. Coutinho, who's scored 6 in his last 8 games, has placed the ball down 10 yards outside the penalty area. It's a shade right of centre. He'll strike this. His hands are by his side. He takes a short run up, right-footed. It's through the wall. Goalkeeper goes the wrong way.
That's Daddy's trophy gun. How many times I got to tell you? No, don't draw on that one.
It's more magic from
okay.
Coutinho.
Oh no, now you've lost the pen.
Yeah. And Liverpool are loving it because they know now with that strike from a free kick from the edge of the penalty area by Philippe Coutinho, they lead by 2-0. And that'll be enough to secure all 3 points against Lifeless and Liverpool side. Coutinho with the goal, his 7th in 9 games, and that should definitely secure a top 4 position for Jurgen Klopp. It's Liverpool 2, Middlesbrough 0.
Yeah, that's the goal that's going to see this game comfortable now for Liverpool. Goalkeeper's managed to put so many players in front of himself and the ball that I don't think he could see the ball. He's moved.
If you start being naughty,
the wrong way and in it goes.
Okay?
There's been a goal at the King Power Stadium as well. TalkSport's Jeff Peters.
Leicester 1, Bournemouth 1, 6 minutes into the second half. Chilwell's cross from the left. Slimani headed it back across goal, and Vardy converted from 1 yard out. 13 in the Premier League, 16 overall. All square here, 1-1.
And let's go to the Emirates Stadium and find out how the Arsenal fans are feeling about that second Liverpool goal. Ian Danta.
Well, 50 minutes gone. Arsenal 2, Everton 0. It's a fairly subdued atmosphere, but not just because of that second Liverpool goal. With the FA Cup final in mind, Sam, we already know that Koscielny will be ruled out with that red card he got in the first half. Gabriel is about to be helped off the pitch. He went in for a challenge with Valencia, I think it was, inside his own half, and he's just being carried off on a stretcher, is Gabriel. And so that really does cause Arsene Wenger severe problems. Per Mertesacker is about to come onto the pitch for Arsenal to replace Gabriel, so it effectively leaves Holding and Mertesacker as the only 2 available centre-halves that Arsene Wenger can call upon for the game against Chelsea next weekend at Wembley. Gabriel sliding in for a challenge with Valencia, but he's come off worse and he's gone off, but Arsenal still lead here by 2-0.
Cheers, Ian, thank you very much. So it's 2-0 to Arsenal against Everton, but significantly it's 2-0 to Liverpool against Middlesbrough, and that's much more important because it means, as they are in control, Liverpool, that they will be in the top 4 at the end of the season and earn a place in the Champions League, and Arsenal will be dropping out for the first time in 2 decades. Liverpool 2, Middlesbrough 0 on TalkSport with Sky. Don't forget you can watch the goal that was scored by Philippe Coutinho on the Sky Sports Football Score Centre app, right now available at no extra cost for Sky TV customers with Sky Sports. And Stuart Pearce this afternoon is finally going to plan for Liverpool.
Yes, it is. They've had to be patient, and the goal before half-time, as we often see goals before half-time, is so vital. And a wonderful block just a minute ago from George Friend. He really done well to get out to Firmino, otherwise it's 3-0.
A wake-up call just to say,
this game finishing as is at present.
We do need change, we do need more people.
Well, I mentioned when the Coutinho scored that
because
Middlesbrough suffered Merseyside misery.
Okay. So you go out there and watch the trolls, you're not having Daddy's phone for Pep Quick.
29 Premier League visits to this part of the world. Their last was at Everton in May 2000. Janino and Brian Dean on the score sheet.
Gets you a biscuit, will you go and watch trolls?
Not been a pleasant trek in recent times, it must be said. Matip looking for Lallana. Good feed by him. Feed Sturridge, offside flag is up over on the far side. And Sturridge was played in and would have been one-on-one with Brad Goosan. And Andy Nunn on the far side not put his flag up. He did that very quickly, and it is a free kick to Middlesbrough, with Brad Guzan shielding his eyes from the sunshine. Arsenal 2, Everton 0. Burnley 1, West Ham United 1. Chelsea 1, Sunderland 1. Hull City 0, Tottenham 3. Leicester 1, Bournemouth 1. Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 0. Southampton 0, Stoke City 0. Swansea 0, West Brom 1. Watford 0, Manchester City 4. It means that Manchester City will finish 3rd in the Premier League. Liverpool 4th in the Champions League qualifiers. Arsenal 5th and into the Europa League and not taking place. Not taking part in the Champions League in any shape or form for the first time since Arsene Wenger's first full season in charge. Ball down to play, away to our right-hand side. And it will be a corner kick to Middlesbrough in front of the Kop.
And across comes Stuart Downing to take it. Ben Gibson has gone up to the back for Middlesbrough in those dark blue jerseys, looking to try and get themselves on the score sheet.
I made sure to send them
the ball has been placed down. Downing is addressing it. And Mignolet trying to organise his defence as the ball comes in towards the near post, aimed towards Gibson, headed away. It falls for Justed, who's making a nuisance of himself, but Coutinho manages to get it clear. And Liverpool escaping on the counter-attack here. And they've got 4 red shirts to Middlesbrough's 1 blue one. And a 5th is arriving here. And can they get the ball out wide to Sturridge? No, they can't. What a waste. But it's come back to Klein, onto Lallana, inside the penalty, slips it past the goalkeeper. It's 3-0 Liverpool. But it was almost inevitable that they were going to make the most of that when they broke away from the corner with 5 red shirts surging forward and were outnumbering Middlesbrough 5-1. It looked for a moment that the chance had passed, but when it came back to Lallana inside the penalty area, he only had one thing in his mind, and that was to stick it beyond Brad Guzan and into the corner, and all doubts are erased. There's no hope for Middlesbrough. There's no hope for Arsenal. It's a Champions League place for Liverpool. It's official. 3-0.
Yeah, as I say, when Borough pushed on, sent players up for the corner, left them vulnerable when Liverpool broke sensationally quickly.
Well,
and it must be quite critical now. The goalkeeping coach for Borough is out on the touchline like he was last weekend.
Oh, God. Don't start,
pal.
Here
comes a Liverpool goal.
Leo Perkovic, who was rather animated last week and made it was pretty cringeworthy, I've got to be completely honest with you, at the Riverside Stadium. But here come Borough through the centre. It comes through the foreshore. He sizes up to Mignolet. Got a little touch on that, and it's pushed behind the way for a corner. I thought there was a handball up there. I thought Rudy Gustavo stuck his arm out and nudged it on. But it looked like it just touched his head. It came through the foreshore. He slipped it past the goalkeeper, but well wide of the post. It's a corner kick to Middlesbrough. 3-0
you can see what
to Liverpool here. Adam Lallana's first goal of 2017. You remember it as well. It's into the far post, punched away by Mignolet. Another chance to counter-attack for Liverpool. Liverpool just do not learn. The ball is out on the right. It's picked up by Klein. He bounds into opposition territory. He finds Coutinho. He sizes up, shoots towards the far corner, and it's a fingertip save by Guzan to stop it from being 4.
I'm going to have to put a headphone in, so I can't actually hear that.
Middlesbrough, who have just conceded a goal on the counter-attack after having a corner, have almost done exactly the same less than 90 seconds later.
Yeah, it's almost that mental concentration now for Borough. You know, they're getting a corner, best opportunity of scoring. Flood players
yeah, he's called
Horror. We're going to go off to the Emirates in just a second. It comes in from Coutinho towards the centre of the goal, headed away by Fabio. It's picked up by Downing and it's shepherded away. Milner's retrieved it for Liverpool. Free kick given, so we'll go on.
Can you still hear that, by the way, guys? You still hear? Hey, Flatty, how you doing, dude? Can you still hear that now? No, I can't hear it. Where is it?
See the goal on the counter-attack after having a corner, have almost done exactly the same less than 90 seconds later.
Yeah, it's almost that mental concentration now for Borough. You know, they're getting a corner, best opportunity of scoring. Jesus, flood players forward.
Corner kick here. We're going to go off to the Emirates in just a second. It comes in from Coutinho towards the centre of the goal, headed away by Fabio. It's picked up by Downing and it's shepherded away. Milner's retrieved it for Liverpool. Free kick given, so we'll go off to the Emirates where there's been a penalty for Ian Danta.
And it's been scored by Romelu Lukaku. Arsenal 2, Everton 1 with 57 minutes gone. Across from the left from Baines at the edge of the area, handled inside the box by Nacho Monreal. And Lukaku, could it be his last appearance for Everton and therefore his last goal for Everton? Well, he dispatched the penalty brilliantly to Czech's right, who guessed right but couldn't get it. Arsenal 2, Everton 1.
Arsenal 2, Everton 1 doesn't change the complexion at the top of the table. Liverpool still going into the Champions League, but it does close the gap to Harry Kane in the race for the Golden Boot. That's the 25th goal of the season in the Premier League for Lukaku. He scored for Everton this afternoon. Harry Harry Kane has scored twice. He's got 28, though. There's no catching that boy. That is for sure. There has been a goal elsewhere. Let's go to Vicarage Road, where there's been another one for Nigel Pearson.
Watford 0, Manchester City 5, and Jesus has put the ball in the back of the net after Aguero played the ball in from the right-hand side, tore the Watford defence a half, and again, it really was a case of Watford's defence just standing still and allow them to steamroll through. There was a player on the line, Berami, who tried to get away with the header, but he'd only put it in the roof of the net, and City are in control, and this could be any kind of score, Danny.
Yeah, it's frightening. That defending there from Watford was absolutely shocking. Credit to Jesus, though. He started to move off, winning the ball from a throw-in. Aguero just dances around Berami on the edge of the 18-yard box, cuts the ball back to Jesus. Clever, he's tracking him, but he just wants it more. Jesus brushes him off, gets to the ball, flicks it over Gomez, and then I think there's a defender on the line that tries to head it away, but can only head it into the roof of the net. And I thought maybe Man City were just taking it a bit easy the second half on Watford, but Watford giving them another goal there, and this could be 7 or 8 by the end. Really could.
Yep, quite easily. Jesus is the man who's got it. Manchester City have got a corner again now on the hour mark. It's Watford 0, Manchester City 5.
Daniel Gabardon and Nigel Pearson watching that massacre at Vicarage Road. It's Manchester City leading by 5 goals to 0. Liverpool leading by 3 goals to 0 here at Anfield. Adam Lallana on the score sheet, Wijnaldum and Coutinho as well. They certainly play some sexy football, that's for sure. Stoke City want to play more sexy football next season. How are they getting on today? TalkSport's Alex Crook.
They are leading, Sam. Southampton 0, Stoke 1, a goal that will do little to ease the pressure on Claude Puel, the Southampton manager. It came from a lovely deep cross from the right-hand side from Jeff Cameron, the fullback, picked out Peter Crouch at the far post, and he planted the header across Fraser Forster and into the far corner. Southampton 0, Stoke 1.
And there's been a goal at Stamford Bridge. TalkSport's Ian Abrahams.
They've taken their time, but on the hour mark, the champions hit the front. Chelsea 2, Sunderland 1, long ball up to Costa. He fed Hazard, left-hand side of the penalty area. 1-2 touches onto his left foot, thumped it in the corner. 30th, record 30th win in the Premier League on the cards now. Chelsea 2, Sunderland 1.
Guys?
And that's having had our 16th Premier League goal of the season. Pretty impressive stuff. You're listening to Liverpool 3, Middlesbrough 0 on TalkSport with Sky. Don't forget, you can watch that Adam Lallana goal on the Sky Sports Football Score Centre app, now available at no extra cost for Sky TV customers with Sky Sports. The final day in the Premier League is going Liverpool's way. They lead here, and Arsenal, despite their victory, are going to miss out on the Champions League place. Liverpool had a bit of a tricky time here recently, not won since they beat Everton at the beginning of April, but they're going to win here and do it in some style, and there's going to be one hell of a party tonight in these parts. That is for sure. Sturridge trying to help it into the penalty area. Oh, Fabio tries to give it back to Lallana after what seemed like a routine ball to clear by Fabio, and it's cleared up towards halfway eventually, but that was another mistake by the Brazilian right back, who's complaining at his goalkeeper, saying, oh, where's the communication? Brad Guzan is defending himself, but Ben Gibson's joining in as well. They're arguing amongst themselves, the Middlesbrough backline. I think that's certainly been a bit of an accusation that's been levelled against him. There's a bit of disharmony in that dressing room. George Friend mentioned it in the build-up to last week's game, and you can just see they're not all on the same wavelength.
No, it's probably only natural, the run of results they got, a relegation as well. The defence mechanisms coming up with one or two of the players.
What do they need to do in the summer, do you think? I mean, Victor Ortiz, who was the head of recruitment, unsurprisingly, I'm surprised, is going to leave in the summer, especially since the recruitment was slammed by the chairman on a local radio station straight after the game last week. What do they need?
Well, they need to first port of call really is decide who is going to be the manager going forward, and from that build a structure in place accordingly. It's a very well-run football club, Middlesbrough, I believe, So
Coutinho nabbing the ball off of Clayton, moving to the edge of the penalty area, feeding Firmino, gets it onto his right foot, sets up Wijnaldum, tapped away by the retreating Ledbetter just at the last. It maybe was just a little bit too intricate, that from Liverpool. Maybe Firmino should have pulled the trigger when he got inside the penalty area on the right after good work work from Coutinho and Lallana to win the ball back in the heart of midfield. It was a good spot by the Brazilian to poke it out wide to Firmino. His first touch was a little bit heavy actually, and Wijnaldum couldn't bury it from 9 yards out, and it remains Liverpool who lead by 3 goals to nil. Let's go off to the game at the Liberty Stadium, find out the very latest from Lawrence Moore.
Yeah, I changed
Swansea
a little while
West
ago,
Brom
mate.
1, 65 on the clock here. The Baggies leading that race for 8th in the Premier
fast.
League. Johnny Evans first half head of the difference between the sides, but 2 great chances of Swansea after the break. A header missed from about a yard out by Fernandes. Can't believe he missed it at the back post. And then Alfie Mawson just a few moments ago, a flick header which went wide of the post. And Leon Britton is just leaving the pitch to a standing ovation here at the Liberty Stadium, where it remains after 65 minutes, Swansea 0, West Brom 1.
And Leon Britton leaving the field at Liberty Stadium in the 65th, 66th minute, as he has done every week for the last 3 or 4. That's a planned substitution there. Burnley have won 10 home games this season, but are they going to win today? TalkSport Simon Humphries.
Well, it's on us even at the minute, so it's still Burnley 1, West Ham 1. They're doing the most attacking in the second half without any cutting edge, to be fair. Brady's fired a free kick over and Ashley Westwood's just tried his luck from outside the area. Remember, they went in front through Sam Vokes on 23 minutes, cancelled out by Sofiane Fagouli's equaliser on 27, and with 62 gone here at Turf Moor, it's Burnley 1, West Ham 1.
Spurs romping it the last time we were at the KCOM. Graham Courtney.
Well, they certainly are, but at the moment there's a chance coming in. It's a goal for Hull City. Hull have actually managed to get one back. It's going to be Sam Clucas who'll be given that one. But you know what? At least Hull in the second 45, they've given it a right good go. At least Spurs aren't exactly going to walk it. It's not a Watford game, put it that way. We have got, 25 to go here. Hull 1, Spurs 3.
Cheers, Graham, thank you very much. And what about Manchester United and all the kids against Crystal Palace? Don McGuinness.
Well, it's still United 2, Palace 0. Harrop on his debut with a cracker, and Pogba first half goals. Really, not a great deal of action in this second period. We await the final change from Jose Mourinho, as Big Sam's made one tackle from MacArthur, but those goals put United comfortably in front. United 2, Palace 0.
So it's Arsenal 2, Everton 1 on TalkSport 2 right now with Nigel Adley and Alvin Martin. Burnley 1, West Ham 1, Chelsea 2, Sunderland 1, Hull City 1, Tottenham 3, Leicester 1, Bournemouth 1, Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 0, Southampton 0, Stoke 1, Swansea 0, West Bromwich Albion 1, and Watford 0, Manchester City 5. Company, Aguero twice, Fernandinho and Jesus scoring the goals for Pep Guardiola's team as they secure 3rd place in the Premier League. Chelsea, top of the table with 93 points. Tottenham, 86 points in 2nd. Manchester City in 3rd. Then Liverpool, crucially, in 4th. And Arsenal, with 75 points from 38 games, are going to be a point behind Liverpool and miss out on the Champions League places. Then come Manchester United and Everton at the bottom of the table. You know the 3 teams that have been relegated: Sunderland, Middlesbrough and Hull City. Swansea just above the drop line now, and then Watford above them too, and Watford being battered towards the end of the campaign. Here's Firmino down the left-hand side from Lallana into the penalty, looking for Wijnaldum, shanks into the outside of his boot as it came back to him. It was lifted in by Firmino. It just missed the the Middlesbrough defender, and Firmino then striking it first time on the volley. Wijnaldum striking it first time on the volley, hit it with the outside of his boot, and that took it wide of the post and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, there's the same intensity and concentration isn't there now with the Borough defensive play, and Liverpool finding gaps, little 1-2s, they're losing their runners.
Let me give you the latest odds from Betfair, Sunday Exclusive's official betting partner on TalkSport. A £25 pre-match bet on Liverpool can be cashed out now for 28 quid. The latest betting is the correct score: Liverpool 3-0. 12-5, Liverpool to win 4-0, 17-10. Cash out on single or accumulator bets to take your winnings before the end. Match available on selected markets and conditions apply. Go to betfair.com. 18 plus, please gamble aware. This is Talk Sport. Remember, we've got the climax of the La Liga season this evening on Talk Sport 2, and on Wednesday night we'll be in Stockholm for the Europa League final. Manchester United against Ajax next Saturday. Lauren Koscielny won't be there, but we will be for the FA Cup final at Wembley. It's Arsenal against Chelsea. On Sunday, I'll be bringing you live commentary from Wembley from the League 2 playoff final, and then camping over all weekend down in North London. I'll be at the playoff championship final on Monday as well. There's been another goal at the KCOM. TalkSport's Graham Courtney.
Yeah, Hull shouldn't have scored for the simple reason being that's upset Spurs. Spurs have now got their fourth. There's been a free kick that's been swept in, and there was Victor Wanyama. He's just about on the goal line as well to actually bundle the ball in the back of the net. Hull 1, Spurs 4.
Victor Wanyama scored against Manchester United recently, and he's scored another one against Hull City today. They lead by 4 goals to 1. 6 of their last 8 away days, Tottenham, on the final weekend of the season, have ended in defeat. This will not be ending in defeat today. It's not going to end in defeat for John W. Henry and Liverpool either. Liverpool lead by 3 goals to 0. John W. Henry is here. He's in the main stand that we're in, just a tier below us, a little bit closer to the action and right in the middle on the halfway line. And he has a broad smile on his face after seeing this performance from Liverpool. Have the ball on halfway with Wijnaldum. He's wrestling and getting it away from Patrick Bamford. It's on to Coutinho, who sends it out wide towards the left, collected by Milner. Milner approaching the penalty area now, clips the ball, aiming towards Coutinho. Flicked header by him, doesn't quite come off, and Callum Chambers will clear. Callum Chambers, of course, on loan from Arsenal, and at the Emirates for us, Ian Danta.
69 minutes gone, Arsenal 2, Everton 1. Remember, Arsenal down to 10 men after that red card for Koscielny in the first half. Lukaku's penalty in the second half, setting nerves, jangling just a little bit, and Everton did have the ball in the back of the net just a moment ago. Mason's Holgate cross from the right-hand edge of the penalty area. Valencia headed it home, but he was climbing all over the centre half for Arsenal to put it home, and Michael Oliver ruled it as a foul. The atmosphere here, it's not poisonous by any stretch, Sam, but there were 1 or 2 pockets of Arsenal fans singing "Stan Kroenke, get out of our club," with reference to the apparent bid for his share and his control in Arsenal Football Club. We've got just over 20 minutes to play here. Arsenal hanging on for the 3 points they need, I guess. Arsenal 2, Everton 1.
And there's been a goal down at the Liberty Stadium. Is it an equaliser for Swansea City? Lawrence Mora.
It is indeed. A Swansea 1, West Brom 1. Jordan Ayew with his first goal for the club. A free kick from Sigurdsson, swung to the back post, headed back across goal by Llorente. And there was Ayew, 2-3 yards out, heading into an empty net. Deserved that equaliser, really, Swansea, for their second half performance. Swansea 1, West Brom 1.
I think his last goal was in the Championship against Reading for Aston Villa earlier in the season. Jordan Ayew, that's his first goal for Swansea City, and it's one that will preserve the mood around the Liberty Stadium. They survived relegation. There's going to be no big overhaul in the summer, but Paul Clement will have them working a little bit harder and a little bit smarter than they did this time last year. They made some poor decisions in terms of appointing managers in the last 12 months, Swansea City. I think they may well have got it right with Paul Clement. Let's go on to the KCOM. Tottenham running riot, not for the first time this week, Graham Courtney.
It's Hull 1, Spurs 5. It's that man again, Harry Kane, with another hat-trick. Not bad, he got one on Thursday night, he's got one here as well, and he's on fire. There's no other way to describe it. Harry Kane on fire. He's going to walk away with the golden boot tonight, and Spurs are going to cruise into the Champions League. It's Hull 1, Spurs 5.
And significantly, and Stuart Pearce was asking me about this a little bit earlier on, about his goal record, comparing it with Alan Shearer. The mark of excellence is 20 goals a season in the Premier League. The mark of absolute world class is 30. He has 29. To get 30 this season Premier League goals, that would be some achievement, wouldn't it, for Harry Kane? He only needs one more now.
Well, what he's done...
Daniel Sturridge left-footed, talking of mark of genius, getting the ball onto his left foot from 25 yards out and curling the ball towards the far corner, and it wasn't far away.
Yeah, what he's done at this moment in time, the last 3 seasons, Harry Kane's goal scoring record has been absolutely sensational. He's just getting better and better, stronger and stronger as a professional. Incredible.
I think Harry Kane now has scored 4 hat-tricks in 2017. Which is remarkable, absolutely remarkable. Fabio has been replaced. Let's get the details from TalkSport's Graham Beecroft.
Yeah, Fabio has gone off the field and he's been replaced by a former Liverpool player, Daniel Ayara. Just 5 appearances for Liverpool before he left in 2011. Double substitution, in fact, because Alvaro Negredo, who scored the winner for Manchester City against Liverpool in December 2013, has come on the pitch and Gusted has gone off.
And there has been a goal at Turf Moor, and could it be the winner, Simon Humphries?
It could well be. It's gone to the visitors. Burnley 1, West Ham 2. It's Andre Ayew who's got the goal. Fernandes with a scorching shot. Brilliant save by Heaton. He could only palm the ball up in the air though, and it was a Burnley defender who tried to get it clear. Matthew Loughton underneath the bar, but the ball's come down off the crossbar, and there was Ayew right in front of the empty net, 1 yard out, headed it in. West Ham in front. 13 to go. Burnley 1, West Ham 2.
Callum Chambers has just struck from 25 yards out and almost caught out Simon Mignolet, but it remains Liverpool 3, Middlesbrough 0 on TalkSport. And TalkSport 2, Arsenal Everton continues. Arsenal down to 10 men. Koscielny sent off in the first half. It's 2-2 in that game between Arsenal and Everton. The ball is at the feet of Philippe Coutinho. He tries to send it through the middle towards the edge of the penalty area. Did I say 2-2? I meant 2-1 in that game at the Emirates Stadium. What is the scoreline at Chelsea, where it is also, I think, 2-1, isn't it, Ian Abrahams?
Yeah, still Chelsea 2, Sunderland 1. We've had Diego Costa go off. Sam, he waved to everybody in the ground. I wonder if that's his farewell from Chelsea. And Pedro's come on as well. The significance of that is that in every single game this season, Antonio Conte has used all 3 of his subs. Now, I haven't looked it up yet, but that must be a record. Chelsea 2, Sunderland 1.
Well, you should have looked it up before you went, shouldn't he? Isn't that the rules? What do you reckon?
That's why he's indispensable, the moose, you know.
He's a fountain of knowledge, isn't he? Here, Liverpool, which was a fountain of emotion before kick-off and certainly is going to be surrounded with celebration come the full-time whistle, leading by 3-0. It's been a very good day for Jurgen Klopp. They're going to enjoy this tonight. I mean, he was playing down the long-term significance of this game, but there's no underestimating what it means to the club. Recruitment, investment, commercially attracting players. This is vital. Plus, you know, it's actually important for a club steeped in history, a club of this stature, to be playing in club football's most prestigious competition.
Well, the club has been built certainly over the last 40, 50 years as being European Cup teams, Champions League teams, whatever you want to call it. This club is synonymous with it, so it's you know, they're used to it here, their supporters.
Here's Lallana onto Firmino, left side of the penalty area is Sturridge. He hits it first time, comes through to Firmino, trying to bundle his way through towards the edge of the 6-yard box. There's a collision between Gibson and Guzan, but Gibson does just enough to get hold of the ball and spin it out towards the far touchline. And then it goes out for a throw for Liverpool away to our left-hand side. Klein to take it, attacking the goal in front of the Anfield Road end. It's with Klein. And then on to Chan. Chan towards the edge of the penalty area, allowed to wander far too far, drags a shot through the penalty area. It's smuggled by Brad Guzan and pulled into his chest and then cleared away. 31 minutes gone in the second half, and Liverpool lead by 3-0. Elsewhere, Arsenal 2-1 up against Everton. West Ham have taken the lead against Burnley. Chelsea 2-1 up against Sunderland. Hull 1, Tottenham 5, Leicester 1, Bournemouth 1. Manchester United 2, Crystal Palace 0, Southampton 0, Stoke 1, Swansea 1, West Bromwich Albion 1, and Watford 0, Manchester City 5. Here, Liverpool leading, and remember you can have your say on the phone in straight after the game if you're a Liverpool fan and you want to celebrate finishing in the top 4. 08717 22 33 You might be a Middlesbrough fan who wants to reflect on the season. You might be an Arsenal fan who's got something to say to Arsene Wenger. 08717 22 33 Liverpool giving the ball away, but quickly Middlesbrough have given it back. There has been a goal at Stamford Bridge. Has it gone to the champions, Ian Abrahams?
It has. Chelsea 3, Sunderland 1. That record 30th victory will be Chelsea, but what a bizarre goal. Long ball forward aim for Pedro, who was always second best to get there. Jolien Lescott tried to head it back to his goalie. Only trouble was he headed it over the top of his goalie. Pedro carried on his run and from an acute angle put it in the back of the net. Maybe that's why Jolien Lescott hasn't played much this season. Chelsea 3, 3, Sunderland 1.
Get out of here
Cheers,
now.
Lewis. Thank you very much. You're listening
Run
to
away.
Liverpool against Middlesbrough on TalkSport with Sky. Liverpool leading by 3 goals
fair,
to
it
nil.
kinda
Don't
makes
forget you
no
can watch all
odds
the goals
anyway.
and
Even if
highlights from this
Arsenal,
afternoon's
like,
Premier
draw
League games,
lose
all of
now,
them
it makes no
on the
difference.
Sky Sports
Liverpool
Football
and City are doing what
Sports
they need
Centre
to do, and
app
that's
right
win.
now at no extra cost if you're a Sky TV customer with Sky Sports. Liverpool have the ball inside Middlesbrough territory. Coutinho scored the second clinching goal, sends the ball forward towards the right. Lallana, who got the third, tries to poke it down to Daniel Sturridge, doesn't reach him. It's stepped away by Downing and then picked up by Friend, who at least seems to be giving it a go. He's given the ball away, and sometimes he does it in positions where he is high up the field and then caught out, but at least he tries. Here on the left side is Milner. Milner approaching the penalty area. Firmino, having his shirt pulled by Daniel Ayala, is twisting one way, then the other, tries to get past Ayala and bamboozle him. He ended up bamboozling himself, I think, in the end. And Patrick Bamford, now in that familiar right double fullback position, comes across and puts it out and wins the throw. There's going to be a change here, and maybe this is the last time we will see this guy at Anfield. Graham Beecroft.
Yeah, I think this is probably why the change has been made. Liverpool are hardly under pressure at the back, and it's Roberto Firmino who is going off, and he's going to be replaced by a fellow Brazilian, Lucas. This will be his 346th appearance for Liverpool. He's just got 7 goals in that time.
What are they doing?
He's well liked by the fans. He's been here
Valencia's
10 years, moved from Brazil to come to this country, and a big fans' favourite. Although I think, as I say, this will probably, as you suggested, Sam, this will probably be his last appearance because it is rumoured that he's going to move on possibly to Turkey.
Yeah, and he was linked with a move away, wasn't he, in January? And I must admit, I thought I'm one of the lucky people that has actually seen Lucas score a goal in the flesh down at Plymouth earlier in the campaign. I think it was his first goal for over 6.5 years, and it was a bullet header in that game at Home Park.
Then we went 2-0 up.
And also with Daniel Gabardon that night, he was the summariser, and it was a bullet header from the Brazilian, and now he gets a chance to say goodbye to the Anfield crowd. He's been a loyal servant to Liverpool, that's for sure. Here is Negredo for Middlesbrough, outwitted by Wijnaldum. George Friend was tussling with him, but Wijnaldum brings it away to the centre circle. Liverpool qualifying for the Champions League. No drama, no worry, no nervousness for them today. After 44 minutes of knocking on the door, Wijnaldum opened it, and since then it was almost like the floodgates have opened. 3-0 to score.
I'm going to go now, Chewy. Right, see you later, mate. Boy, have a great
as a result, that top 4 place is going to be secured. Milner on the touchline, back to Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum to halfway, and then into centre field, and Lucas over the top towards the right-hand side. Matip will take over. Arsenal leading by 2-1 in their game. Remember, they had to win and hope that Liverpool dropped points here today. That hasn't happened, and Arsenal, as a result, are going to miss out on the Champions League. Here is Coutinho trying to feed Sturridge down the left-hand side, but he slid it too heavily into the path of Daniel Sturridge, and Brad Guzan was very quick to come out and pick it up on the edge of the 6-yard box, and it remains 3-0. Here's Negredo down the right-hand side, trying to touch the ball into Bamford, but then has to go backwards rather than forwards, and Middlesbrough try to build from the back once again.
Can they possibly score many more? 5-1 up.
The intensity's gone totally out of the game, hasn't it, at the moment, even from the terraces, you know.
Here is Forshaw trying to break the lines though, and he's played in by Negredo. Doesn't manage to get proper contact on the ball, not for the first time, and it comes off the outside of his boot and goes behind and away for a goal kick, and that's sort of symptomatic really of the way that Middlesbrough have played. They haven't really been at their sharpest. Let's see the latest substitution from Jurgen Klopp, and hear about it from Graham Beecroft.
Daniel Sturridge is coming off the field, gets a good round of applause. That might well be the last time Liverpool fans will see him here as well, wearing a red shirt, because he's been very, very injury prone, and that will have not been missed, of course, by Jurgen Klopp. On the field comes Divock Origi, the Belgian international, his 50th league appearance for Liverpool.
Divock Origi actually started the last game down at West Ham United when they were so very good in attack. He returned with a goal against them as well.
You guys must be able to hear it.
That was only his third goal in 20 appearances, Origi. Here is Coutinho bursting forward. It's 4-on-3 here. Lucas bursting through the middle, doesn't quite reach him. Brazilian to Brazilian. Right. And once again, Middlesbrough cut open very, very quickly after the ball was won in the centre of midfield. Coutinho taking it on, charging through the middle, trying to reach Lucas. Didn't quite come off.
Yeah. Just going back to the earlier Borough opportunity, fantastic build-up play. Negredo just helped his teammate in, and he really made a hash of it, didn't he? You know, could have been only a penalty spot, only the goalie to beat. He's tried to take it on the volley.
Brad Guzan has clipped the ball out on this near side and given it straight back to Liverpool. Here's Coutinho onto Wijnaldum. Wijnaldum back to Lucas. Lucas turning the ball out towards this near side. He can't give it to Lallana because he's 10 yards offside, Lallana, so he has to come back towards the near side. The Liverpool fans want a goal from Lucas, so every time he touches it they scream shoot. I don't think he's going to shoot from there, but we shall see. Matip works it to the wide right position. Liverpool camped inside the Middlesbrough half of the field. Lucas looking up. He's not going to shoot, surely. Lallana might, though, or he might give it to Milner, who's burst down the left-hand side. Lovely ball through the 6-yard box. Doesn't get much better than that.
Come on,
but it's missed by Origi, retrieved on the far side, and he turns it back towards the edge of the penalty area. The Belgian comes forward. He's teasing Friend. He goes on the outside. There's a telescopic limb from Friend that places it out and puts it out for a throw-in over on the far side. And let's go off to the K-Con, where there's been another goal for TalkSport's Graham Courtney.
And for the second time in the space of 4 days, Spurs have got 6. Hull 1, Spurs 6. Ben Davies, corner of the 18-yard box. Do you know what? He's hit it so well. It has flown into the top corner. Harry Kane has gone off. He's not going to get 4. Shame, really. World class, says Pochettino. Couldn't argue with that. Hull 1, Spurs 6.
Ben Davies with the goal for Tottenham Hotspur. There's been a goal down at Liberty Stadium as well for TalkSport's Lawrence Mora.
Spurs. Where it's Swansea 2, West Brom 1. Fernando Llorente with it. Great work down the right-hand side. Played to Narsing in the end, and his cross was inch perfect for Llorente to get a volley on it and sort of side foot cushion the ball beyond Foster in the Baggies goal. Looked like Swansea going to win it. Swansea 2, West Brom 1.
I'll give you an as it stands table in just a second, but Liverpool are on the attack here. They're coming forward with Chan down the right for Liverpool. Klein goes on the overlap, but still Lallana has the ball sticking to his feet. It's back to Lucas, who's wide on the right-hand side, into Chan, controls it, doesn't shoot, miscontrols it at the second attempt, then it bobbles behind and goes out for a goal kick. It's time to choose our moment of the match with Sky. Stuart Pearce is alongside me. What have you thought?
Well, the one thing that eased everybody's nerves was the Wijnaldum goal, the opening goal that really settled the nerves here and put them in Champions League strongholds. I think that goal.
Well, that's our moment of the match with Sky. Don't forget you can see that moment for yourself on the Sky Sports Football Score Centre app, available at no extra cost for Sky TV customers with Sky Sports. Lucas has got the armband on. Graham Beecroft will tell you why.
Yes, because Milner is coming off the field. James Milner coming off the field, and another player who will not be at Anfield next season as a player is coming on. Alberto Moreno hasn't really been a hit at all since he moved from Sevilla. They need desperately, Liverpool, a player who is left-footed down that left-hand side. Mourinho is, but not good enough for the first team.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me just have a quick look at this as it stands table. I think, and I haven't got it in front of me, but just doing a bit of calculation, that goal for Swansea City will mean that Southampton move up into 8th position, Bournemouth in 9th and West Bromwich Albion in 10th. West Ham will be in 11th and Leicester 12th, Stoke 13th, Palace 14th, Swansea in 15th, Burnley and then Watford before the relegated trio of Hull, Middlesbrough and Sunderland. You remember at the top of the table, we can't tell you enough that Liverpool are going to secure Champions League football for only the second time in 8 years. Arsenal are going to finish outside of the top 4 for the first time in 20 years. No Champions League football for Arsene Wenger next season, should he still be there. There's been another goal
just
at the K-Con. Graham Courtney.
I'm running out of paper. It's Hull 1, Spurs 7. Toby Alderweireld. He's just ghosted in from the corner of the 6-yard area and he's side-footed it into the back of the net. This is getting ridiculous. Hull 1, Spurs 7.
Well, I think congratulations to Chelsea. They've been absolutely superb this season, relentless in the way that they have won the title. But what a fabulous football team Spurs are, Stuart Pearce.
Well, they're a vastly improving team. There's no doubt about that. Got some wonderful players, a lot of good young English players playing in their team, which is always good to see as well. And Listen, what have they got? 13 goals in 2 games now?
Not bad, that, is it?
Well, I don't know the last
Harry
team
Kane's
to
got
have
7
done
of
that.
them. Oh, there's a collision here that's completely unnecessary. Callum Chambers has just put his head into Moreno, and Martin Atkinson has come across to try and defuse the situation. The ball went over the top, and Moreno looked as if he was going to be in one-on-one. Callum Chambers then came across. There was a confrontation between the two. There was a head that was lent into another, and the two of them now being split up by Martin Atkinson, who has done very well to defuse the situation and not get into a predicament where he's had to send one of them off.
Yeah, I think Chambers is just suffering from a little bit of niggle there. You know, he's got frustrated with the scoreline and the performance, and probably himself a little bit, and just had a niggle at Moreno.
3-0 Liverpool lead, and we're in the final few minutes. Jurgen Klopp is on course for 50 wins as Liverpool manager in 99 games. It's a win percentage of more than 50%.
Oh, it was Barkley that Bellerin
which
made
is good for him. And Arsenal are going to fail for the first time in 20 years to reach the Champions League. Go back to the opening game of the season. Arsenal with their rookie back line. Liverpool winning there at the Emirates Stadium by 4-3. Remember that? Just how crucial was those decisions
just say that Liverpool were winning?
Here comes Coutinho, moving towards the edge of the penalty area. Tries to get a pass into Lucas, who's now playing almost as a centre forward. He's so desperate to get a farewell goal. The ball comes off the defender and bounces behind and away for a corner kick, which Coutinho will take.
What's he doing to us?
Yeah, those decisions from Arsene Wenger to give his players extra rest after the European Championship. Has it come back to haunt him? That's the big question, because they lost that game. Here's the ball in towards the near post from Coutinho. Out as far as Chan. Chan 10 yards back from the edge of the penalty area finds Klein. Klein back to the left, and the German once more. He moves it infield. Some will say that Liverpool should have had this sewn up way before now. But ultimately, Liverpool punching above their weight, aren't they?
Let's take a moment.
6th in the wages table, certainly the smallest budget of the top 6, but they're going to finish inside the top 4. At Chelsea against Sunderland, there's been another goal. Ian Abrahams.
They certainly have. Chelsea 4, Sunderland 1 in the last minute. The man who won them the title has probably scored their last goal this season in the Premier League. Ball played
stop
through,
ruining things!
Batshuayi to poke it.
I'm gonna come and get you,
Jordan
fellas.
Pickford from about 8 yards out. Chelsea will create a record, Sam, of 30 Premier League wins of the season. Chelsea 4, Sunderland 1.
Very impressive it has been too, and Jurgen Klopp has been pretty impressive as well. He was certain that they wouldn't falter. He was certain that they would not allow their levels to drop, and now only 2 minutes of added time stand between Liverpool and a return to the Champions League. They needed this. This city needed this. Both the two teams from Liverpool will be in Europe next season, and you can hear what it means to the Liverpool faithful who have brought their team on. They've been disappointed on a number of occasions at this stadium this season when there were games that they thought they should have won but didn't. But ultimately, when it's really mattered, they've got the job done. Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, as you rightly said, they've been in the top 4 for a number of months now. Played some really good football. Suffered a little bit when Mane left the club in January, you know, for the African Cup of Nations, and that probably cost them, well, having to panic a little bit and win this last game to make sure that they stayed in the top 4 positions. But that's the way it goes. They're there now. They're in the Champions League now.
They haven't got the deepest of squads, and they lost Sadio Mane, and they lost Jordan Henderson as well to injury. Everton are going to lose today as well, Ian Danta.
Arsenal 3, Everton 1 into stoppage time, and Aaron Ramsey curls home a delightful third after good work on the left from Ozil and Welbeck. Lovely finish from the Welshman. Arsenal 3, Everton 1.
Aaron Ramsey scoring for Arsenal, but it's too little, too late at the Emirates. They're still going to miss out on the top 4. And as Adam Forshaw bursts away to halfway, he produces a ball with the outside of his boot, which looked like it was going to go through to Negredo. There was a little tug back from Chan, and then a block from a Liverpool defender, and it's going to be a free kick just left of the centre circle. So the results on the final day in the Premier League: Arsenal beating Everton by 3-1. Burnley losing at home to West Ham. Chelsea 4-1 up against Sunderland. The champions about to lift the trophy. Hull City behind by 7-1 to Tottenham. Yet on the video printer they'll have to spell it out. 7. Leicester 1, Bournemouth 1. Manchester United 2-0 up against Palace, and Stoke leading away at Southampton.
No monetisation on this stream, just in case.
Liverpool win.
Is untoward.
and they win their most important fixture since contesting the title in 2014. And after an absence of 2 seasons, the Reds are back in the Champions League. They have been in the top 4 since September. They had threatened to fall at the last couple of hurdles, but they regathered their composure and got the job done. This is no trophy, but for Liverpool right now, it is just as important. Georgie Wijnaldum with the goal just before half-time. Then Coutinho, then Lallana, then all 3 points. And a top 4 finish for Jurgen Klopp. It's finished here. Liverpool 3, Middlesbrough 0.
So Liverpool and Man City make the Champions League places. Chelsea got a 5th. It's finished here. We'll round all that up in a moment. They've won 5-1, the champions. But let's get the closing stage and the reaction to the full-time whistle at the Emirates. Ian Danter.
We played 2 and 3/4 minutes of the minimum 5 to be added on. Arsenal 3-1 up on Everton. Could be a 4th as well. Bet goes through. Blocked by Robles. 6 yards out. He's made a couple of important saves to keep the score down in the second half. Robles. Don't forget that Arsenal have been down to 10 men since around about the quarter of an hour mark when Koscielny was sent on. But there's times where you would not have the faintest idea that Arsenal were down to 10. Mainly that's down to how lacklustre Everton have been this afternoon at times. They brought on Ross Barkley to try and pep things up, and he's done his best, the young England star, in what may or may not be his last game for Everton. Everton coming forward at the moment with Morales flicking it out to the right-hand side, and Mason Holgate, the right-back, plays the ball along the carpet into the area for Lukaku, who scored a second-half penalty to set nerves jittering a little. Back for Ross Barkley at the edge of the D, tries to drive, and it's just the wrong side of the post from Everton's point of view. And Everton have conceded a goal kick to Arsenal. So the goals, Bellerin on 8 minutes, Sanchez on 27, and Aaron Ramsey just before you came to me, the beautiful right-footed curling shot as we went into stoppage time after good work on the left from Ozil and from Welbeck, has set the seal on the victory for Arsenal. And you're asking about the atmosphere, Adrian. Just before you came to me, lots of applause and good-natured atmosphere around the ground. Remains to be seen what it's going to be like when the full-time whistle goes, because everybody knows exactly what Liverpool have done here. They're well aware that the Champions League has slipped away for the first time in 20 years for Arsenal, and they will have to deal with Thursday night football in Europe with the Europa League. Not that that's going to make any difference. So often Arsenal play on a Sunday in the Premier League, then as far as I'm concerned, any complaints about that won't wash with me, because so many times Arsenal play on a Sunday anyway because of games that are moved for television coverage. Ozil for Arsenal. 3-1 up here. We're playing out time at the Emirates Stadium on TalkSport. Less than 30 seconds of additional time to play. Ramsey hugging the left-hand touchline, plays the ball in field to Alex Iwobi, who came on as a second-half substitute. One note of caution for Arsenal. Koscielny sent off in the first half. That's 1 centre-half missing for the cup final next weekend. Gabriel stretched it off in the second half. That's another player missing. And there's the full-time whistle. Applause you can hear around the Emirates Stadium. Warm applause for job done by Arsenal. They knew they had to win, and hope against hope that Liverpool or Manchester City slipped up in their games. Neither did, of course. So it's 3 points that merely means Arsenal finish in 5th place, and it will be Europa League football for the Gunners next season. Will Arsene Wenger be at the helm? I guess we won't even find out tonight. We'll have to find out after the cup final, live on TalkSport next weekend. It's finished here, Adrian. Arsenal 3, Everton 1.
Arsenal Europa League next season. They finished 5th because Liverpool won. You heard that live on TalkSport. And Man City destroyed Watford at Vicarage Road. Let's find out exactly what happened. Danny Gabardon and Nigel Pearson.
Watford 0, Manchester City 5, Man City masterclass at Vicarage Road. All started as early as the 4th minute of the game, accompanied with a header from a De Bruyne corner, and that set the tone for the match, really. Aguero on 23, De Bruyne through ball. There was Aguero with a fine finish, and then 13 minutes later he did it again, this time a simple tap-in after Sane's run and ball across. Fernandinho made it 4-0.
I don't know, we'll see how it goes.
Just before half-time.
Yeah, I messaged you on Twitter.
City took their foot off the gas in the second half. Jesus with a goal after
Aguero's
run.
But it is on Twitter for us.
Really did tear Watford apart here this afternoon. They're into
you.
the group stages of the Champions League. Third in the
Right, anyway,
Premier
guys,
League.
I'm going to make a
Gavin
move now. Thanks a lot for tuning in.
Chewy,
How it goes? Yeah, good. Thanks, Craigie boy.
Yeah,
I'm starting to go.
You know, Man City, yes, they scored 5 goals, but they weren't even in full flow for me today, and they didn't need to be, because Watford were so awful. Really disappointing performance from them. Yes, they have defensive problems, but there was a real lack of interest, lack of intensity to their game, lack of organisation about them.
little bit better.
It was just easy for Man City to pick them off second half. They eased right off the gas. Aguero's missed 2 sitters in this game. He scored 2 already. Miss of the season, this one in the second half. Wait till you see this one tonight. But Watford really poor. I mean, send the home fans home happy, or at least have a go and try and get something out of the game. But they just didn't do that. And the 2 biggest cheers of the day for Watford fans came from when Sergio Aguero went off.
I'm going to leave it there, guys.
Manager Matt Zahi was going to get sent from the touchline. So that says